Okay, so hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at 3 vods of a jungler in Diamond. And I haven't looked at these vods before, but we're just gonna try to find some common patterns of issues that this player is having. So if we start off, I'm thinking, okay, so we have some kind of engage, they have no engage, they need level 3 on brand, before that they're really weak, their bot lane in general is pretty weak early game. Mid lane, after 6 we have like some setup, but yeah, Azir should just bully, so expecting to have prio here, expecting to probably have prio here at least until level 3, and expecting prio here, so we're playing with full prio laners. Lilia is a champ that usually full clears, so expecting something like that. Hale is pretty vulnerable, especially with Akshan, so diving this guy could be an option, pathing for killing this could also be an option. So we'll see what our Rengar decides to do. Since we're playing Rengar, it could be easier to gank bot lane, but top lane is guaranteed anyway because you dive it, so we'll see what he opts into doing. Okay, so he starts the game level 1 with this ward. I've seen a lot of Rengar players do this. We can skip ahead to when he starts clearing. He opted for Blue Smite, which I think is fine. I think blue and green are the best in like 90% of cases, so yeah. Okay, just clearing. And right now we're looking for the enemy's starting position. Most likely top lane, since Kayle decided to walk like this, and there's no reason for a Kayle to ever walk like that instead of walking through lane unless he leashed. We are pathing for top side, though obviously here we have multiple options right now that are present within the game. Whether we decide to do something like tree camp and transition top side and go into a top lane dive when it's available, whether we decide to do tree camp and then some kind of invade, whether we decide to do a full clear into like dive, whether we decide to maybe our bot lane like hard trades and like somehow fucks up and then we decide to do like tree camp and bot lane even, who knows. Though that option is not so favorable at the moment. So let's see. I will put it at higher speed because there's no reason to watch in 1x speed. Because we can just pause when we need to talk about something. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of him never looking at lanes at the moment, because if we look through this whole time, he did look here, but I also want to know like briefly what's going on top lane, maybe what's going on bot lane. Just a little bit. There's no need to really focus on the lanes you're not gonna go to, but at least you have some general idea, because for example right now bot lane is fighting, and we really can afford to just glance there for a second and see if our bot lane is winning, if any sums are used, whatever else. I think that's affordable. He is going for some kind of idea like what I said, where he does 3 camps and then he looks for a top lane dive whenever it's available. Though I don't like that I have not seen him actually look at top lane. Like I see him look on the minimap. Okay, he actually did look, but let's see, how long did he look for? Because this is an important thing to look for when you look at jungle vods. If he looked for long enough. Like this looking top lane did nothing. He did not see anything. He pressed tab at the same time as when he looked top lane. When was it? Like here. I can see the HPs of the top laners. I can see 2 minions here. That does not tell me much. I would prefer to just see either the wave or like the top lane, but he even tapped during it, so this was no info. We do see it on the minimap, but just gets a bit better info. What? Okay, so I guess I missed the enemy starting camp. Did he see them lose mana? Or why does he know that? No, they lost no mana. Ah, but Twitch lost HP. Ah. Okay, if he noticed that Twitch lost HP, and because of that he knew that she started bot side, fine. But here I would assume that she started top side. But okay. This is fine then. If you know she started bot side, there isn't really an issue with this. Usually the enemy jungler has to figure out how to avoid this, and the easiest way for her to avoid this here, with the path that she chose to do, would be to just skip this and go straight to Krugs, in which case it's hard for Rengar to get to her. And at worst he just takes her red buff, but taking her red buff is losing for him, because he's going to be on 16 CS while she's on 20. And then he has to clear all of his camps and waste time doing this disgusting red buff. And then after Krugs, if her Kayle needs protection, she can do that. If not, she can just recall. And after recall, she can show up here on bot side scuttle, maybe look for bot lane, and that could be perfectly reasonable for her. And Rengar, after doing this, would need to run all the way here, take this scuttle, take all of these camps, and then after taking all of these camps, he wants to base, because he needs to get a recall off, he needs to get his items on the map, and he doesn't want to just stay on the map and keep clearing into this and this, which would be quite a long clear, because after all of this clear, sure, he has a lot of gold, and he gets to decide where he wants to go, but the problem is that here he is on the map without any items, and if a fight were to break out, or if he needed to do something, he would keep staying on the map with no items, and it's kind of disgusting. But okay, here it works out for him pretty well. He opts into stopping the red buff clear and going for a top lane dive, which I don't really like, because here you have smite. You have smite, there's no real issue. You can just keep doing the red buff and you can just dive, because if he looked at the... Again, he doesn't look at the wave. If he looks at the wave, then he will know that he has enough time to go there. And unless Lilia straight runs to here, there's nothing that she can really do. Like, she would have to run straight back to top lane for her to contest this in any way. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but okay. Maybe he wanted to jump to the minion, I'm not sure. The dive was played fine though. I think he had enough time to do red buff, but it's also a bit better if Kayle dies slightly later than this. Because if Kayle dies a bit later, then during the respawn timer, he will lose more. Like right now, the cannon is tanking. So after this, again the cannon is tanking and she doesn't actually lose any minions before she TPs back. That's why I think it would be a bit more beneficial, but sure. As I expected, Lilia decides to go for a bot side play, because the same thing would happen if she skipped the red buff and just went straight to Krugs. She would recall and look for something bot side because she wants to avoid Rengar, she doesn't want to meet him again. Here, I just think he should have pinged, but no real issues. Now the question is, where do you path now, is the question. This is like the biggest question here. Where do you path? And I want him to first of all get to full HP on Fountain. Okay, good. One pink is fine also. But I want him to look at bot lane here. Because looking at bot lane determines how it's going to look. If enemy bot lane lost a sizable chunk of HP, then currently there is going to be an option where I can just keep contesting stuff from Lilia. Like, I can go here and contest maybe. Especially since Yone killed our laner and he has no TP. So 99% chance that Yone after this will just look for a base. That means that if enemy jungler spends enough time here, we could perhaps take this and this. And this is more beneficial than taking our own camps, for the simple reasoning that if we take our own camps, Like, let's say that we take all of these. Sure, we will get more ahead. We will get 16 CS, which puts us at 30. But Lilia will also get this and this in the same time. At which point Lilia will be at like 28, I guess. So it's not really that much of an advantage, is it? Because she already did more camps in the first clear than us. Meanwhile, if we take this and this, I mean, obviously we can also fight her here, most likely. Unless the Scuttle RNG is horrible, but that's something to just see. But if we take both of these, and then perhaps, I don't know, we decide, okay, I have time to invade this, I have Pry or whatever, then with these two, we are going to be on 22, but Lilia can only do like these two, and then this is really scary for her again. Obviously we can go for the same thing by going here, like doing our camps, then doing the Scuttle and then going here, but it's just one less camp that Lilia can do, and in the end we can also do these camps anyway and then finish with this clear, and we're going to get more. That's how I see it anyway. He is going for a topside Scuttle. Okay, he did look at bot lane. Yeah, in this situation I would say that he won't really make it, so that is not an option. So that's fine. I don't really dislike this too much. Though the question is, what do you do right after this? Okay, so he's looking for... I don't like this at all. Here, technically, I really don't like this. I don't like this at all. I think this is really grief. Because the issue is that she is playing bot side. She has all of these camps up, like these two. She took the Scuttle, and this camp is up for her also, and there's a potential dive. So I'm really not a fan of this. Because all you're really getting is her Krugs, but she doesn't care about her Krugs. She could not care less. Now you need to make this happen. Which you do, that's good. Good enough. It does end up working out in a good way, so... in the end it's fine. But in most games I really don't like this. I don't know why Lilia doesn't try to do anything at least, because this is just completely losing for her. Because the issue is that she has to, right now, just make a play, dive bot lane. Like, she has to do it no matter what. It's just forced. She has to do it, but she doesn't do it, so there's just no punishment for what you're doing. In this case. And Kale is just whatever. Yeah, I don't know. The reason I don't really like it is because I don't know. Like, you don't get both camps, and she doesn't really care about this. But this play is good. But then I would rather just take my own camps. I mean, I guess it's fine. Whatever. I don't know. It's so awkward. And then you just get this. Wait, the red buff was still up. Oh, actually, then I like the invade, because then you can take two camps. And then it's like, whatever. I guess it's fine. So you meet her here, and... yeah, I don't know. This Lilia isn't playing the game. There isn't really a reason to keep watching this VOD. Because everything just worked out way too well for the Rengar. And it's just kind of pointless from here on. Oh, for the early game. I mean, I guess I can look at the mid to late. So somehow we start to die. Yeah, like, this is the main issue with the way that the Rengar was playing, where he isn't really trying to farm at all. So as long as the laners aren't getting a lot of resources, he's going to be ahead, but otherwise he's going to fall behind on the laners, even despite having so many kills. Because the Rengar has 4 CS a minute. That's why I wanted to see at least a little bit more efficiency in the clears. Obviously denying the enemy is good, but I wanted to see like slightly more efficiency, because at some point you have to commit to clearing. Yeah, so it's just fine. Whatever. I don't like... that's fine, you can invade this before Herald. So you know where the division is actually. But yeah, they just go together. That's why you have to be careful. This is not really worth it in the end because he died. So just taking Herald instead. Looking for the invade is fine, but if it takes too long, then yeah. A little bit of an outplay fight. But I really want to kill bot lane at this point. Like, even before this point, I really want to kill bot lane from Rengar so you get all of your stacks. But yeah, this is just a really awkward position to play. Also no damage items. Then like some stuff happens. Catching up a bit in form. But there's a bit too much team fighting here. And obviously fighting for dragon is fine. But another fight. But like right now, what's the point in sitting mid with your whole team? Like for me, what I want to do is either take side waves or look for some kind of invade with my team, or look for picks or something. And you do get an invade somehow. It's fine. But I don't really like showing. I think showing is a bit annoying where you are. Because I don't think your team really needs you, and then if you show, then it's less likely for the enemy to just open. Like imagine Twitch is brain dead and he just goes outside of vision, stealths, walks up to the bot lane and Rengar just ults and Twitch just dies. That's like instant Baron. But if you sit on top of the champs, okay, there is some split pushing, I like it. Cool. Taking side wave, good. Taking some stuff. I think the main issue that I saw in this VOD, the main issues are the inconsistency and kind of like flippy ideas where if it works, then you're pretty ahead, but if it doesn't work, then you're gonna end up being like 4 CS a minute with no kills and just depressed. And also a bit too flippy fights. And okay, maybe next game is slightly better, so let's see. I didn't really like the VOD anyway because the Lilia was playing too bad, so there was no real resistance. Okay, sure. I'm not sure why he has a pot this time. I'm not sure what the reasoning is. The reasoning is that he is expecting an early fight with Graves, which would then result in him needing the pot to win the fight, or what? Okay. I don't like the stall. The fact that he took the ward soul is really bad. I think he should just wait at least until at least his top laner shows up and comes close enough to get XP. Because for laners it's much more impactful to get the ward than for junglers. But okay. So this time he doesn't have the ward to Krugs. We saw red start from Graves. And based on the laners, pathing into bot lane, fine. You have Samira Draven, so that's a pretty important lane. Okay. Let's put it in higher speed because we're just clearing. Okay. Looking a bit. That's fine. You don't need to look too much at lanes, just a glance every now and then. He looked at mid lane a bit. Not sure how much he saw, but okay. I really want to look at bot lane now. Yeah. Like here, he obviously wasn't paying attention because the bot lane is fighting and he didn't look. He instead instantly went on the blue buff. Also, the thing is, it's really important to always look at the map in early game as jungle. Because if you look at the map, you can spot who warded and who didn't. Like really easily. So right now, I know that unless anyone warded level 1, they haven't warded yet. We know that Graves' ward is on cooldown. I don't know if he has sweeper or not, but whatever. But the Darius was like cheesing in lane or something. So I don't think top lane's warded. Mid lane hasn't moved anywhere to ward. And their bot lane hasn't moved anywhere to ward. Like right now, we still know mid lane hasn't warded, bot lane hasn't warded. Unless it's in lane, obviously. If they warded in lane, that's different, but we don't really care about the lane ward. So right now, we see Draven moving up like this. So it's most likely that Draven warded right in this bush. So this is something that we can know whenever we don't have sweeper, if we like just keep the warding totem level 1, or if we just have sweeper and cooldown. I in general think that on the first clear, sweeper is most useful for invading, and for stuff like ganks you don't really need it because every ward is usually telegraphed on the first clear. Like this, where you know that there's a ward in this bush by Draven. If you looked at the lane right when Draven was placing the ward also, he could see how far up the ward is, like where exactly in this bush it is, because the Draven stood somewhere here. So I'm quite sure that he didn't walk up to here, so there's no way that the ward is at the end of the bush. So it's somewhere in the middle. Because people usually place their wards at max range. Yeah, so see, the ward was not exactly at the entrance right here, but was somewhere more in the middle. And we knew that. Without even needing sweeper. But this is just an int play. He's trying to do a Rengar thing. But he flashed and auto-attacked the ward. And then he auto-attacked this. And then it just doesn't work. And he's tilted, I think. But this can't work in general. Because we're too late for the fight. Because the big fight happens right now. Right now is when the big fight is happening. And now Draven has his keystone stacked. I'm not sure. I think it went off actually now. Yeah, the keystone went off. But the problem is that now there's a big wave and our champions have no HP, so... This is just something you have to look at and see, okay, will the fight keep lasting? How hard will they commit, and can I come or not? This is an information problem, really. Because right here you should already look, and this is where you have to move. If you want to actually move. Because if he moved right now, then he can show up when they go back in. Like he could be there now, you know? But I don't think he should move to this in general. Because moving is just not gonna work. Because his bot lane traded too badly. So now our tempo is really ruined. Like really ruined. I don't mind a repeat on bot lane, but our bot lane is a bit too dead. I don't mind the idea too much, but yeah. It's just impossible. Sadly he has to do this, but he gets rewarded for it, which is good for him. It's good to realize that you have to do this because You already inted in bot lane, your bot lane inted, you inted, so you look at bot lane, you decide if you can do something. Enemy overforce, so yeah. Fine read. What are we basing for? The question is, what items does Rengar want right now? Like, I don't know if he goes the Hydra build here or if he goes the full Lethality build. If he goes Hydra, he for sure wants to stay. But I think he wants to stay either way. Okay. Okay, I don't mind this. Kind of recovered. We had a little oopsie and int. This is fine. Let's run here. Help this guy. Okay, push the wave. Okay, even kill that guy maybe. Copium. I'm close. That's pretty good that that guy's chunked to 1 HP. I think here, it's perfectly fine to just walk into tower like this and just don't let the Darius get the wave. Because if the Darius tries to get the wave, he will die. And if you get 1 minion, you get 6 also. So you can either kill 1 minion and then run him or Graves down, or you can just deny the Graves the wave. Because that Darius is legit 1 HP. Like, that guy legit has no HP. He dies to 1 spell. And it's too hard for Darius to react to your spells with Z. So as long as you just walk into his melee, he will either E you before you hit him, or you will hit him same time. Or he won't even E. But you get the kill anyway. And you have nothing to do anyway, because your camps are respawning bot side, your Scuttle is respawning bot side. You saw that Victor probably warded somewhere in river. And I would prefer to be bot side with ult after this, rather than being top side and recalling. Because at this point, all you're really gonna do is just base. Like, what else are you gonna do? What else is there to do? Yeah. You walk here. He actually didn't ward apparently, even though it looked like it. And you get a kill. But this is just really random. Because here, Victor knows your top side. He knows. He's completely aware that Rengar was just here. So what is the point for Victor to stand here with no vision? I would understand that if the Victor had a ward here and he was just baiting you to waste your time, and then he just walks here, clears the wave, walks back. But this is just inting, and this won't really happen when you play higher elos, so I don't like this at all. I think this is really bad. You get rewarded for it, but it's really bad. And now we don't know what to do. Pushing is fine, but red is not. Because the issue is, what are you gonna do? Are you going to red buff into base, or what? What's the plan? Because our camp is here, next camp that's respawning is Wolves. Gromp is, I mean, Scuttle is up, Dragon is up, bot lane needs to get help probably. And we have ult, I don't know. After that play worked, I think just recalling would have been good. You have 2k gold, you can just spend that gold and go bot lane and you can ult it. I guess he won Yomo. Want the Yomo. I mean, if you stay for item, I guess, but I don't know. I still don't really like it. I feel like it's such a waste. And also, I would rather have a damage item than Yomo. I don't know. It's not as bad if staying for item, but yeah, this is just awkward. Now we didn't get the Scuttle. We're clearing half our jungle. Bot lane is pushed in. Enemy can take Herald right now. Like, this is just map collapse. This is just complete map collapse. Enemy could have taken like Scuttle and Dragon, and now he could be topside and taking Herald, and then there are no objectives on the map, and as long as enemy doesn't die to you in any lane, all you're doing is AFK farming and you're just depressed. The point in jungle role, the two main things that you need to realize in jungle role for improvement are, one, it's most important to do stuff that's consistent, and two, which is basically an extension of that point, is that you need to do stuff that enemy doesn't have counterplay to. Ganking on a freeze, enemy has some counterplay to. Enemy jungle can come counter gank, enemy laners can just like not walk up. Obviously in some situations they will just accept that, it's like obvious, but in a lot of situations they have an option. So it's not as consistent as something like, especially if you don't have setup, I mean, when it's a freeze, as something like diving, because diving, you either lose or you lose. You either lose 3 waves or you lose your life. It's up to you. But oftentimes with freezing, enemy's only gonna lose 1 wave. I don't know, this was just int. I don't know what the fuck just happened. He was trying to get to Renata. That just doesn't work. Enemy Draven had his power spike items, so he had big damages. So if he doesn't insta-die, then he just kills. And then Draven dives, and now this is what I mean. Map is just collapsed. There's nothing to do on the map. The enemy didn't even have to do Dragon before Herald. He just took the Herald off the map. Now you're pathing into 2 camps where you don't actually have an objective to do topside. You have a losing lane here, you have a losing lane here, and you have a losing lane here, and suddenly the game is completely unplayable. This was fine. It looked gankable already when I was watching you walk from base, but the problem is, despite getting this gank off, it doesn't actually do much for you. That's the main issue. You need to outplay this fight somehow. And that's not what I meant. I meant like kill both of them and not die. Like have no one die. And here you only live because Graves misses ult. Because if he just waited for the jump, then Rengar just dies. If he just waited like half a second, Rengar just dies. Okay, Rengar dies anyway, so it didn't make a difference. But yeah. Also, I think Rengar knows that Victor is another bush. I guess he knows, but he just wants to fight it. I mean, I guess fine, that's just limit test fight. I feel like the player in the bot needs to watch more Rengar specific content to fight better on the champ. Because these fights look really flippy. I mean, Rengar fights in general often look flippy, but this looks like almost every fight that I've watched until now has been losing if enemy plays properly. That's what I don't like. The way the fights are selected and the way that they're attempted to be played. Okay, do some camps, go to Dragon, die to enemy bot lane. So yeah, this game is completely over, but I think that the last turning point where Rengar had any impact on the game was here. This play, I think, is the turning point where Rengar completely loses his impact on the game. Because there's nothing to do here. Like, all I want as Rengar is get 6, deny this guy, so my Jax gets a bigger lead so that he can be a monster. Into base, get Dirk and, I don't know, like just long swords or whatever. Get damage, because I'll have damage anyway. I don't need a big item. I can have damage with Dirk and long swords, it's fine. And then just walk bot lane and try to kill bot lane because they are so important for us, this lane. Instead, all we really got from this sequence that we did instead is we got 300 gold from a coin flip. We got a lot of XP, I guess, but like it doesn't matter if we're level 6 or 7 because we're same level as enemy bot lane. And then we got 100 more gold for our item. So all we really got here is 400 gold. And I guess we denied enemy Victor a wave or something, I don't know. But I don't really think that this has an impact early enough in the game for the game to become playable. Because what I want right now is I want shutdowns. I think Draven should have a shutdown. No? Yes, he has 450. Okay, 450 here, 300 here, so I get 700 if I kill both. And I don't think that we killed them yet, so we get our necklace. Maybe we did kill them. We didn't kill this guy for sure. We just killed this guy. That guy. Did we kill bot lane? I don't know, I don't remember. But either way, I want to shut this down and have my bot lane be impactful. But it looks like my bot lane is eBay anyway, like what is this? Resolve Samira? Khan? I don't know. Weird. Weird. But yeah, then I want this, Judenite Graves, I want Dragon, I want Herald. But this is just not impactful. And then after this, game is unplayable anyway. I'm guessing that enemy like threw it in mid game, but the early game is so flippy. I feel like the mid game in the last VOD that I watched was better than a lot of people, because we had some taking side waves, we had some making picks or whatever. So it wasn't complete AFK. It was something. I feel like the early game is a flip. Yeah, but this is no impact from us. This is nothing that we did. This is just what our teammates did, and then we get Dragon because of it. Then we get a random pick, then we get sniped. I mean, whatever. It's just panic flash. That's fine. Happens. You don't actually have... Wait, did he leave at -2? He knows. Wait. No, he left at like -1. You can leave at -2, I believe. And you won't get taxed. Okay. We're chasing the kill. Don't mind it. Then take the wave, please. Oh. Ew. I'm not gonna say too much about that. There's no way that Rengar beats Darius. Actually, I mean, he does probably if he gets face checked, but other than that, I mean, Darius has full armor, and Rengar doesn't have anti-Darius build. Probably wins with ult if Darius face checks him, because the Rengar can just kite for a second combo with ult. Without it, I'm not sure. Okay, so we're clearing, blah blah. We should look a bit what's going on when we're clearing. Victor is like griefing a bit. Another chill pick, okay. Now take wave. Like right now we're useless, we need to just take the waves. Even if we base, we can't impact that in any way. Okay. Okay. Good. Then look for enemy camps or something. you release to Graves? Oh, we have this shit now. Oh, yeah, that's really end. I guess he lives because it's Rengar. That was really end. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Low-key baiting our teammate. Okay, I need to spend gold, I guess. Okay. There's no winning this fight. I would just go bot side, honestly. Okay. Well, I mean, but this is like really bad. Because griefing like this is really useless. If you see the fight is lost, you just go other side of the map. You take bot wave and you try to take more towers, and then if they go for a Baron, maybe you get the dragon. But instead, like, what's the best case scenario? We kill Renata, and then what? We use flash for it. For what? For nothing. Now the game is so hard to play again. We could have gotten some towers, some objective bounties if they're up. I feel like we try to do too much, and then because we try to do too much, we just die, oftentimes. Yeah. And what's the last VOD? Let's see. So I saw we have time at this game. Where? Wait, what? Oh, we're invading. I thought, why the fuck am I seeing Rengar on left side? What are we against? I didn't see it. I didn't see it. No. Okay. Top lane is pretty easy to get kills in. Mid lane is pretty good prio, good setup. Bot lane is kinda NPC lane. Okay. Level 1 invading is fine. I don't mind looking for level 1 stuff on these champs like Karthus, Rengar, Nidalee, whatever. Okay. We're getting some kind of advantage by invading. Cool. Now the question is, what do you do here? Well, this is worth it though. But we know it's worth it. But you walk... Okay, so this shows a fundamental misunderstanding of the champions in play. We have Rengar, they have Nunu. This guy is an assassin and cares a lot about gold, XP, and cocaine. Okay, not cocaine, gold and XP. And Nunu, this champion doesn't give a fuck. This champion just wants to gank and get his team ahead. Doesn't care. You need to put him a bit behind, like he can just play for team. But you can't play for team. So for flipping and doing shit like this, it's just useless. But like, even if the Nunu takes our red buff, takes our red side, it doesn't matter. Because the side of the map that I want to play on at the moment, due to what I determined, is top side. So I want to play somewhere here. I don't want to run here, and then what? Okay, I secure these camps, and then I run here. But I should be happy if Nunu takes my camps, because if Nunu takes my camps and he just did something like this, and if he does all of these camps, and he wasted so much time. So much time. Now, his camps are just gonna stay on level 1 right now, whatever. And all I have to do here is just make sure to spam ping my bot lane so they don't like die. The worst thing that could possibly happen here is this. And the second worst thing that could possibly happen is like Nunu clears and then goes into our red side, and then he does some kind of gank dive bot lane, and he kills Bo. That's like the worst case scenario, the like normal worst case. But this is even worse than that worst case, what we just did. Now we secured camps, but we're gonna be stuck farming for so long, for no reason. Like now we're just stuck farming. Okay, we did 2 camps, cool bro. Ah, we even got it stolen. I mean, now we're just fucked. because we're level 2 at 330. Like, what I wanted to see was something like just do these 3 camps, then look for top or mid gank. This is warded, so probably top lane. Maybe even tell your top laner, yo bro, can you not push, and just like let them push for level 3 and I come. You have like 4 stacks from Krugs and you just come here and you try it, and if not, then you just do your blue side. Then you did your full clear, you can get Scuttle. You can also look for mid, because Lissandra can like bounce wave and then she can have it come back, and then Zed is like pretty gankable, especially if he ever uses W. But instead we're like flipping the game at level 2. Now we're stuck getting creative again and like fighting. Like honestly, you think that Rengar is more broken than I think that he's broken. I hate playing against this champion, and I always say, wow, it's so fucking broken. And you like play as if it's like 10 times more broken than even I think it's broken. And every single champion that I play in my champ pool in jungle gets countered by this champ. Except this champ itself, whenever I decide to pick this. Ay. Just clear, please. Just clear. Where are we going? Like, this is the fundamental misunderstanding. This is what holds people back. It's like the 3 Fs. F for flipping. F for forcing. Same playstyle every single game. I'm Rengar, I invade every game, all game. And F for failing every fight. These are like the 3 things that hold people back at the elo the most. Flipping, forcing, and failing every fight. Flipping happens because you want to do something that's inconsistent, and sometimes it goes really well, sometimes it goes really badly, and then you have no consistency in your gameplay. Like, you can be Diamond 2, Diamond 1, maybe Master, just by being consistent. That's why my Evelyn guide is also meant for getting to like Diamond 1 Master, because that's basically the elo you get just by being somewhat consistent and not doing completely wrong things. If you do like somewhat proper things and you're not flipping, then you should be able to get that elo as jungle. Then forcing, it's like you try to play the same way every game, but you're forcing stuff which doesn't make sense. Like, there are some extents of forcing that are fine, but there are some things you cannot force. Something like forcing full clear every game, that's like playable on some champs. It's playable to force full clear every game. But forcing something like 1 camp invade or 3 camp invade every game does not make sense. And then failing your fights, this basically just happens if either you don't play enough, like I don't know, you play 1 game per day, or you play like 20 champions, or I don't know, you took a break or something, I don't know. Or you're just like better at your role than you are at your champion. I feel like this player's mid to late game isn't too bad. If we picked some like random throws and flips. But the early game stuff is like pretty bad. I feel like he has an idea of how to play against champs that are weaker than him, and champs that won't contest against him, or that will contest but he can just kill. But he doesn't really stray from that idea at all. And if the enemy champion doesn't actually care about losing 1 camp like Nunu, then it just doesn't do anything. Especially if, like, this would be more acceptable against Nunu if you never ever throw a game, and if you're like a solo carry player. It's like, this can still work in this elo, because this is basically what I tell people to do in the Evelyn guide also, where you can do this anyway, even though it's not exactly what is optimal, it doesn't actually matter because you're playing like as a solo carry player. But if you're ever throwing games, if you're dying, if you go meta and you die, if you play Rengar and you give shutdowns or lose tempo, if you just go 1v5 when you should be taking side wave and side towers, that's just gonna be horrible. That flash was really bad. I think there's no way to actually kill this guy unless you use E. I think Empower D was the play here. I think you just wait and try to time the Empower. Oh, he already used Q, but was the timing out? I don't think it was it? No, he has 5 seconds, he just briefed it. Okay, so here I want to just wait until this stun is like nearing completion, then use my E and root him for longer so the tower can kill him. Because there's no way that my damage is killing him. But I think the tower could have killed him. But yeah, now it's just horrible. We're level 4 at 6 minutes, we have no tempo, we have to clear camps, we're just fucked. And again, the early game gets us fucked. The only early game that we had that was going well for us out of these 3 vods was the one where we played against Lilia and we just level 3 invade her and we kill her. But then we keep flipping. Like, even flipping is fine. It's not that bad to flip, especially on that champion like Rengar. It's not that bad. You can do controlled flips. You can just like flip level 3 and then try something. If it doesn't work, you can like flip again and then you can try to get back into the game. And most likely, one of your first 3 flips is gonna work if you do like 3 flips at the start of the game. But if your first flip already works, if you did like 3 camp and you killed the enemy jungler, then stop flipping. Like after that, you can just play consistent. And if you play consistent after that, you're going to win most of your games. And if you fail that flip, okay, we can flip again. And now we're either even or ahead anyway, because we flip like now. And then after that, we play consistent. All you really can use flips for is just to build a lead, but there's no reason to like keep using them. Like you don't need to get a 1k gold lead on every play you make. If you get a big lead on the first play you make, you can just snowball that lead slowly. That's fine. League isn't a race, it's a marathon. But too many people try to win the game in the first like 5 minutes of the game. And if you try to win the game in the first 5 minutes of the game, you're often gonna lose. Because you're trying to do too much. Nothing really wrong with what Rengar is doing here, honestly. Like, Lissandra can just commit. I wouldn't like stay there with 300 HP and wait for Lissandra to come and hope for the best. Because enemy's area can still E over a wall or something, and if that doesn't work out, it's just disgusting. But you know, this game is just unplayable for the next while, pretty much. We are south and we're behind, so game is just unplayable. Best thing you can do here is raid split. He probably dies for this. No, don't flash. Just die. It's fine. Oh, he's just die, man. I don't think he even lives. Really, she doesn't have E yet. Oh, I guess he lives then. Huh. But I think if she wasn't brain damaged, he would die. But I think just accepting that was fine. I don't want to use flash to live when I'm super behind. I want to use it to get a shutdown or a kill or whatever else. Or objective. Ah, he's flipping a kill. He got it. Not bad. I'll take it. Now just get some item that helps you not like Duskblade. Please not Duskblade. Please don't go Duskblade. Like there's no way you're gonna proc Duskblade and get resets or something. Like if you're gonna go Lethality, just go like Eclipse or something now. So you get some value out of it from the stats that the item itself gives. Because Duskblade is an item that empowers your champion, while Eclipse is an item that you like. They're like different types of items. With Duskblade, you play your champion, and that thing just gives you extra stuff you can do. And with Eclipse, you play more for the item. That makes sense. Like the item gives you the stats, and in Duskblade's case, your champion has to have the stats, but it gives you the play. So it's just like which gives you the play. So we just use Rengar jumps as the play, and yeah. I don't like that play at all here, because I doubt we'll ever get resets. Too late to snowball also. Like, my plan here is just split push. Like right now, I don't think... I need to check tab. Okay, wait. Okay, so Jinx is weaker, Lysandra is weaker, Set is stronger, but he's full damage. Oh, Set build. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just go top. Hope for the best. And maybe if someone comes and matches us, then we can run down to Dragon or whatever and just ult. And just take the tower. Okay, so someone did come to match us, so we run down. No, but not like this. No, when we run down, when this Pantheon ult stop, like I don't think there's any need. Like, just stop auto-attacking. Okay, Pantheon ulted, walk. And I don't think that he needs to ult. I don't think Pantheon will catch up. So you just walk to like here, you walk to like the Raptors or something, then you ult, and then you try to like make a pick or something, I don't know. Like anything. Pantheon doesn't have ult and he stopped playing. Why is the Sandra in base? For fuck's sake, man. Everyone's so useless. But if you ping your teammates, your Set can like try to do something. Yeah. I don't know, try to do something. Maybe it wasn't possible here though, because Lysandra was in base and I didn't notice it first. Maybe it doesn't matter. I'm not sure. But I think the ult that I suggested would still be higher value, because at least you will get vision and a chance to do something. While this way we just did nothing in recall. Now the issue is that if we do the same play again, and we go for this tower, I think they're just gonna go Baron, no? Like right now they can just 4-man Set, kill him and move on, and take Baron. There's nothing we can do. Maybe we can trap this area. No, go up. Not here, not here, not here, not here. Wow, she's actually walking up. But it makes a lot more sense to go like here somewhere, in my opinion. And then if she doesn't show up there and she shows up bot lane, then you'll see her anyway. Like if she does this, you'll see her anyway. And you're not gonna solo kill her. Yeah. But this actually worked out really well. But we could come back here. But I think that, I don't know, most ADCs would just walk like this and just go topside with their team after taking one wave. That's what I would do on ADC at least. I think this is played wrong also. I think the only way that you can possibly ever beat her here is by doing like your full combo. Not Eing, but rather just ulting and trying to run away and then get another combo. I think that's the only way to possibly win. And even then I don't know if you win. I'm not really sure. I mean, Eing is... I don't know. I don't know if it's better to empower it Q or E. I think empowered E might be fine. But like right now I just wanna ult. Like just ult and run. Just ult and run into bush. And then like engage again. But obviously she's going to try to E away, but yeah, I don't know. You just try. I think that's the only way though, realistically. I think if you used empowered Q, maybe she would be lower HP, I don't know. And then, but you could chase him if you use empowered Q, so I don't know. Would have to play Rengar more to know what's better there. Yeah, that's fine. making some kind of pick, but this game is just unplayable. Flip Baron. Fine, why not? What else are you gonna do? Oh, he actually lived. Got rewarded for Dusk play. But yeah, I really don't like Essence Reaper idea because I don't know, I just feel like we are not so strong. So I just want something that will give me some kind of strength. Because the only person we can really kill is Vel'Koz, but we kill Vel'Koz anyway, no matter what items we buy. But the other ones are so hard to kill, and I don't think that Essence Reaper is gonna help us with that. And I don't think we're gonna get like 6 items to go like crit. Full crit. Some pick, cool. But can't play the game. Yeah, so with this we went through all 3 of the VODs, kind of, and I believe that the main issues this player is currently having are related to being consistent and the flipping. Those things are, yeah.
Smiles when the pack came in. Now we gotta break this down. In and out with the gorgeous thing. That was an amazing round.
No.
What she do with that shit? I didn't even make a sound. Couple draw outs came in. Now we gotta take them out.
I think that the best thing to advise this player to do is to watch people who are good on Rengar more, because I feel like he is having some issues with the champion itself, like knowing his limits and whatever. So I think that he needs to play more of the champion and also watch people who are good on the champ and try to emulate what they do, but also like flip less, because a lot of the Rengar players who are known to be, let's call it, good or whatever, they also flip, but the thing is they're allowed to flip on this champ. But I think that it is not really necessary to flip as much in the elo, and you can play more consistent rather than in much higher elo. But yeah, that's my VOD reviews for today on the jungle role this time. And yeah, I didn't really like the VODs. I think that the game for the jungler is pretty much determined in the first few minutes of the game, and after that, if he has a big lead, then it's like whatever, and if he doesn't have a big lead, then it's just doomed. I think this was the best VOD by far, because we actually had an option that we missed where we could have bullied the Darius, taken away that stuff, and then played more with our tempo, and so we kind of like gave it up and did a nonsensical gank. So I think this was the best one, but I think that here the enemy jungler was simply too weak of a player to really show off anything. And then all the main takeaway from this VOD was that we like to throw way too much. Like, we take fights that aren't calculated enough. And from this VOD, the main takeaway was that we didn't recognize our matchup properly, and we tried to force too much for no reason. And that concludes the review. So see you next time. If you liked the video, then consider liking, subscribing, or commenting. And if you didn't like it, leave me some feedback why you didn't like it. See ya.